Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this, our third winter semester digital music and memorial concert. We're delighted this evening to be welcoming Jing Xia and friends. But before I introduce the concert, I, of course, as I always do, want to provide a land acknowledgement. So we respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather, the territory upon which this School of Music is founded, as the traditional territories of the Beothuk. We also want to recognize that the island of Newfoundland is the traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq. We also recognize the Inuit and Nunatsiavut, Nunatukavut, and the Inuit and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. We strive for respectful relationships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. So this evening you're in for a real treat. You're always in for a treat at a music and memorial concert, but a real special treat this evening because we have a concert featuring Jing Xia, who is a virtuoso guzheng player, also an ethnomusicology PhD student here at the School of Music. And Jing is, of course, joined by a host of wonderful friends and collaborators that she's been working with for this concert and indeed for other performances that she's been involved with over the last number of years here in St. John's. I wanted to share a few words about Jing before I introduce you to her because she's actually here in the studio. So Jing is, as I said, a professional guzheng player as well as teacher, originally from China. During her Master of Music study in Music Administration, she acted as the concert host and chairperson secretary for the Hunan Symphony Orchestra. As a scholar and academic, her articles have been published in a variety of journals, including Cultural Study and Music Space. And as a performer, since moving to St. John's, she has been really active, become a key player in the musical scene here in the city and in the province. She's really interested in the fusion between the guzheng and Western art forms, as well as the transformation of the guzheng as an instrument, including structures and performance styles and compositions. Her research also focuses on the guzheng, and particularly the development of the guzheng and its performance and music here in North America and fusions with Western genres. Now, as you may have guessed from the title of the concert, Jing is not performing this evening alone. She has a host of characters with her. I'll just list those before I introduce you to Jing. So joining her for this concert this evening are Chang Cheng, pianist, Jake Danson-Faraday, electronics, Bert Power, percussion, Professor Bill Brennan, piano, Dr. Danny Orr, saxophone, Professor Rob Power, percussion, Fan Zhang, Digi, and Peo Liao on the erhu. So it's going to be a wonderful, wide variety concert for us all this evening. But I want to introduce you to Jing. So Jing is right here. Wonderful to have you with us in the studio. And we're really looking forward to this concert. Perhaps you could just give us a few words of introduction about what we're going to hear.
Great, thanks, Ian. That was great. It's a great pleasure to be here. And hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. And so this concert is basically telling my music journey in Canada. After coming here as a PhD student in 2015, so it's been more than 5 years now. You can see all these different music genres I'm exploring here in Canada. So I hope you enjoy.
Thank you so much, and we're really looking forward to it. And now for Jing's musical journey, Jing Xia and friends, enjoy the concert and stick around because we'll have a conversation with Jing after the show. Welcome back, and I hope you're all standing and wherever you're watching this from with a huge round of applause. That was an absolutely fantastic show. Jing, what can I say? That was just absolutely well, I'll tell you what I can say. 谢谢. Thank you.
You know that? Oh, yes, that was so great. 谢谢. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, it means.
So I do want to have a chat with you about the music and so on. Before I do that, I am going to issue an apology. I made a mistake. In forgetting to acknowledge Dr. Andrew Stanland, who is also a performer in the concert this evening. So, Andrew, I'm sorry that I forgot to acknowledge you at the beginning, but there you go. You got an extra acknowledgement at the end. But maybe I want to talk about the music and the pieces. But before we jump there, maybe you could just help us tell us a little bit about the guzheng as an instrument, because there may be many people watching this evening that are not as familiar with that instrument as they might be with others. So maybe we could start there.
Sure. So the guzheng or the zheng, some people call it zheng because gu in Chinese means ancient, old. So they're basically the same thing. Mm-hmm. And it has more than, as you know, 2,500 years of history. But it was not always like this. So this one is, you see in my performance, is like a contemporary version with 21 strings. So in the history, it had 5, 8, 15, 16, and even in contemporary versions, there are not only 21 strings, and there are also 26, 25, and even have this butterfly zheng, it called, with 2 zheng combined together. So there the variety there. Yeah. So but the contemporary version is more like they change the strings, the material used for making the strings, make it louder and more suitable for stage performance. So.
Wow, and you're an absolutely masterful player. It was
Thank you so much.
Tremendous to hear you.
Yeah. With all these musician friends, of course, make this concert possible, and so glad you enjoyed it. Yeah.
So tell us about the music. I mean, it was the performances were all fantastic, but it was also fantastic to hear a great diversity of works. Some obviously specifically composed for the guzheng, and then the improvisational works. You know, did some solo. There were duos, and there were larger groups. So maybe just walk us through some of those pieces and what they mean to you as a performer.
Okay. Yeah. So at first, I plan to do this concert as almost like a summary of my previous music life in Canada, because now I'm at the final stage of my program, so I'm just writing my PhD dissertation, and so that's why I try to avoid like a repeat genre in it. So every piece represents a genre, a different style. For example, the one Run of Han River is a traditional tune. So you know, in Chinese language, Mandarin is tonal language, and different tones can mean different things. That's why we have so many bending notes in our music, just to know, and that's why we have so many different styles in traditional zheng music. So this one is actually a Henan style. So you hear all this dun 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 dun. Actually, it's how Henan people talk. So they like So I don't know. I'm not very I'm not speaking authentic Henan dialect because I'm not from Henan. I'm from South China. So Henan is in North China. So they speak almost like this. 干啥嘞？你吃啥了吗？ It's like you can hear the tone in it. 干啥嘞？ So it's a da 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 da. It's like that. So yeah, I used to have a roommate. She's from Henan, and I heard her talking with her parents in the evening almost every day. So I kind of familiar with this dialect a little bit. So I tried my best to mimic the sound in my music. Okay, so that's for the traditional tune, and another one. Next one. Oh, okay. Next one, let's talk about the Fantasia. So that one is a contemporary composition. Is, as you heard, is non-pentatonic. So, and very fast. The melody is very fast, which is almost like unusual for traditional Chinese music. And it also changes keys in it. So add a lot of contemporary compositional techniques. So that one was a challenge, and I used to practice a lot. To be honest, I feel like I, as a musician, I need to practice more. Just too much focus on my academic study, really, which is, of course, I need that, but maybe just more practice for that. So this concert is great for me to practice more and get progress on that part. So yeah, I really appreciate this chance. So, okay, so the third piece, okay, I feel like I need a whole night to talk about this. But yeah, the third piece, the third piece is there's a band called Live Wind Ensemble, which I formed in 2019. So the third piece I want to talk about is the Fairness, the last piece. So it's played by our by my band Live Wind Ensemble. It's so hard to form an ensemble here because there's small Chinese community, so not a lot of musicians as in say Vancouver, Toronto, right? So
you certainly found some fantastic musicians here.
Yes. So I'm lucky. So I found them and I formed this group. So and I really appreciate it. They joined me and we play music together. So yeah, that one actually was a popular music. It was originally a popular music, and I arranged it a little bit to make it suitable for the ensemble playing, and. Yeah, I love the spirit, the fearless spirit it tells through this story, because originally this popular song was composed for a movie. It tells a story about how Chinese people fight against Western invasion at that time in the 20th century. So yeah. The braveness and this fearless spirit in it, I want to just convey this to all our listeners, and especially in this hard time, and we all need that, I guess. So yeah, and also move on. Next one, I want to talk about the improv. The improv, oh my God, I love it so much, because that's the genre that I only start to encounter when after I come to Canada. So it's almost like a memory. It's like my impression of Canada. So it's like
I remember it was when we probably first met about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When I started, we probably arrived here at about the same time. And I remember you taking your first steps into improvisation, working with Dr. Waterman and the Critical Study Institute in Critical Studies and Improvisation and so on. So that's an incredible part of the journey.
Yes. So Alan, Dr. Waterman, of course. So Alan is such a good supervisor and a good friend, and she introduced improvisation to me, and I learned a lot. And as a classic training. So contemporary Chinese conservatories, their training is follow the Western classical music route. So I never did improvisation in China for my whole music education in China. So I feel lucky. I choose to come here and I encounter this music practice, which finally becomes very important for my music career. So I keep doing it and I love it and I enjoy it a lot, especially I enjoy it with a group of musicians and we use music to communicate. You can actually, if you listen carefully, you can actually hear everyone's story in it. Yes. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's improvisation. What else? Did I cover all these pieces? Oh my God, I think so, yeah. So from, traditional folk tune to contemporary compositions and improvisation and all that. So it's such a journey, yeah.
And you said on that journey, you're coming close to the completion of your PhD, your doctoral studies. So what's next?
Oh my gosh. Don't ask me. I feel like I need to get the dissertation done now. I just maybe one thing a time, like just yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe you can offer me a job.
Well done. I like that spirit.
You are dean, right? Just kidding. Yeah.
Well, if I can be very self-serving, I would say I would hope that once you finish your PhD, you will stay here in St. John's or in the province, Newfoundland and Labrador, and continue to be such an incredible and vibrant part of the music community here. It's just been wonderful to hear your performances over these years, and also to get to know you, of course.
Well, I would definitely love to. I really love this city. I love people here. I love this environment, like the friendly society, cultural environment. So yeah, I really hope so. Yeah, I will try my best to stay, and we'll see.
Well, again, thank you so much for the performance this evening, and thank you to all of your collaborators that were part of this.
Yes,
that was a lot of work to put all that together, no doubt.
Yeah, yes, but it was fun. And especially during this time, it's a good chance for us to meet and meet together and practice music. So it's great, other than just stay at home, right? Of course, with masks. Yeah.
Yes, the way our lives have changed. Well, thank you again. It's been an absolute pleasure to hear you, and all of the musicians this evening. Congratulations to everyone that was involved with the performance this evening, and especially congratulations to you, Jing, for a phenomenal performance. I also want to thank our incredible team here that put together this concert, from the visuals and of course the recording. So a huge thank you to our recording engineer Steve Lilly and our master of the cameras and the lights Pete Stambridge. Just also a beautifully recorded and shot performance as they bring to us every week. And speaking of every week, I'll remind you of next week's concert, which is featuring a few faculty members from the School of Music. It's called Sonata Fest. So I'll say, if piano is your thing, you should really tune in next week, because there are 3 pianists that are performing works by Haydn, Beethoven, Bartók, and Ravel. And those pianists, we might call it Sonata Fest, because the pianists are Timothy Steeves, Christina Zuter, and somebody whose last name is Sutherland. So we will see you all next week. Thank you again for joining us this evening, and enjoy the rest of your evening, your weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday, same time, 7:30 p.m., Music at Memorial Digital Concert Series. Bye-bye.